Good evening, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. You know me.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, we
unfortunately.
we are back playing Euro Truck Sim 2. Bum ba da bum 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 bum.
Yeah.
We have a choice to make right now, Ben. A very simple
Okay.
decision that we need to make. Are we
Yeah.
going to? Hang on. Are we going to hire someone to drive our truck around, or are we going to drive our truck ourselves?
Let's get someone else on the payroll.
Let's get someone else on the payroll. That's fine. We would like someone. I can't remember where we're based, so we're going to go to. We're just going to hire a driver. We don't have any slots for a driver. Never mind. We're not going to do that. Hang on. Can we? Garage manager. How much to upgrade the garage? Upgrade. Oh, 180,000. No, we're not going to do that just yet, then. Never
Hmm.
mind. I mean, we could take out a loan.
So, very briefly, we were talking last time about the books I got.
Are we going to
And
take
you
out a
said
loan?
no.
Okay.
And you said that I didn't get a book based on documentary.
Ah, well, yeah, I joked about it.
Well, I remember I nipped into a charity shop when I was waiting for my restaurant to open, and I got the book version of the Radio 4 sort of panel documentary series In Our Time,
Hmm.
which is fairly close. So, in a sense, yeah, I did.
Well, good to know that you lived almost entirely up to my expectations. In oh, hang on a minute. I don't know if that job we're going to get to that job in time.
I still have so many topics left.
Offer expires in 51. We're not going to get there. Fuck's sake.
Would you like one?
A topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
Um, well, it's a sad news for love, or sad week for love this week.
Is it really?
Yes. Damon Holmes and Ruth Langford.
Ah, yes, yes.
They've separated.
That's unfortunate for them. But also, I'm not that fussed.
Somebody pointed out that almost all of the Loose Women panelists have now been divorced on Reddit. Um, which somebody else commented that they're all loud, opinionated women.
So, makes sense, I
Makes
suppose.
sense. Um, apparently, Eamon Holmes has since followed a number of lingerie accounts
Oh, yeah.
on Instagram, including one that's called the account that your wife doesn't want you to follow, or something like that.
I wonder if that's why they're getting divorced. Because it
No,
turns out he's got a
I,
lingerie model issue and.
I think he's thrown himself into this since.
Oh shit, I've just gone through a
Um,
red light. Oh, I haven't got caught going through a red light. Lovely.
he was also apparently noticeably irritable when he was recording his show, whichever it is. Um, the news show. Apparently, he was just sort of ripping into everybody in the front and centre. So, I'm not a massive fan of Eamon Holmes.
I'm not like that fond of him. I don't dislike him either.
I think he is a massive fan of himself in both senses.
Um, there's another celebrity who's ended up in the news this week. As have many, but there's one in particular that came to mind because they were connected to the Co-op Live Stadium.
Oh, of course, it's Roy Hull.
It's Nicki Minaj, who was
Yeah, she
arrested
got.
at Schiphol's airport in Amsterdam, which isn't
Mm,
too far from where we are right now, actually, in this game,
mm.
because we're near Rotterdam, so we're not that far from Amsterdam. In fact, actually, it's fine.
In a cosmic sense, it's
We're
not
in
far.
Amsterdam. We're literally not very far.
Oh,
Um,
lovely. I bet, judging by the look of our driver, this isn't the first time he's been here.
no. Well, it's where we're based as well, so.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we're based in the Netherlands, aren't we? So. This isn't our truck. I wasn't going to be able to do the job I wanted, so I took a quick job and we'll do our dropper somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, she got arrested for having some cannabis, I think it is, which
Yeah.
seems an odd thing to get arrested for in Amsterdam, but I know their rules are not as lax as everyone thinks they are.
Mm.
It is not the only news story to come out of that particular airport this week. Can you remember what the other one is?
I read that somebody got somebody threw themselves into an engine. Is that it? I read
So
that today.
someone, when I saw it last night, someone had been inside an engine and it had killed them. They were not too sure at the time as to the cause of them going into said engine, whether it was a suicide or an accident. So, or an elaborate murder. Even I've seen Hitman. I've played the game. I know how that thing works. A
Yeah.
little bit of wet work never hurt anyone apart from the victim. And you don't get much more wet than blended, do you? Really, let's be honest.
No.
And that's what's going to happen if you go in a jet engine. You're going to get blended.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's strange that an airport we don't really hear about has had two quite big stories, I would say, this week.
Know much about Denver Airport
No,
in
don't think so.
America?
Why?
It's a weird airport. People, there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it being either a portal to hell or cursed or attached to the Illuminati. Like, there's loads of weird art. There's a very ominous statue of a horse outside.
Hmm.
Apparently, when it was put up, or before it was put up, I think its head fell off and killed the artist.
Huh.
But yeah.
So who put the head back on?
I don't know. Well, he finished by that point. He created it.
No, but if the head had fallen off to kill him, who put the head
Yeah, but
back on?
Well, I mean, other people exist.
Well, it seems
So-
to me like they have not listened to that warning from God.
I don't know.
If one were to believe in such things, which I do not. I don't believe in God. I believe in me.
Well, speaking of God,
Yeah.
the Pope's been in the news, hasn't he?
Yeah, apparently said something homophobic.
Now let's see if we can find. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it goes deeper than that.
It's an Italian thing. I couldn't understand it.
So,
We're all over the road.
said, I can't remember, but he used a gay slur.
Yeah, but it's an
Like-
Italian gay slur, so it's not a phrase that
Yeah.
we're familiar with.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
comfortable with. It's-
But it was on Reddit, and it was pointed out by somebody that the slur he used was the sort of thing that somebody in the community would say. It's not the sort of thing a straight person would. It's not a word that they would know.
Oh, okay.
It's the sort of thing that someone within the community would say about the community itself. So it sort of raised the question of how does he know that word? Who told him that word? Where did he hear it? And sort of reminded me that apparently a lot of cardinals are on Grindr.
Well, how else are you going to absolve the sins of homosexuality without putting yourself amongst the people? I just want to know what handkerchief he uses. Is that a thing you're familiar with? The hanky code?
Oh yeah, no, that's an old thing, isn't it?
I know, but he's an old man, so
It's like they used to have their own language.
yeah.
There was
It's called
propaganda
Greek.
that was in Round the Horn. Julian and Sandy is played by Kenneth Williams and somebody else. They spoke in this. Hang on, let me see if I can find it.
You ignored my Greek joke.
What was your Greek joke?
You said they spoke in our own language, and I said yes, Greek. Because Greeks are famously
Polari. Polari.
gay. Polari, okay.
That's the use of the. Okay. So, according to Wikipedia, is a form of slang or cant historically used in Britain by some actors, circus and fairground showmen, professional wrestlers, merchant navy sailors, criminal and sex workers, and particularly among gay subculture.
Any phrases from that have seeped into modern day usage? As is often the case with,
Entry into mainland slang. NAF.
Really?
NAF. AC/DC. That's Barney. Having a Barney. Black.
Hang on, how does AC/DC fit into
I don't know what it means.
alternating current and direct current?
I don't know.
It's a scientific
Well,
terminology. It's
The
not.
list below include. It won't be that. The list below includes words in general use with the meanings listed. AC/DC. I don't know. Yeah, Barney, Blag, Butch, Camp, Kazi, Cottaging, Uffer, Mince, Ogle, Scarper, Slap, Stride, Pod, in brackets, Rough Trade.
See, I only ever hear the word Kazi in Red Dwarf. It's the only time I've ever heard anyone use that word. Apart from Kamikaze.
So, apparently NAF has an uncertain etymology. Michael Quinnen, who is an entomologist, says it probably comes from the 16th century Latin word gnafa, silent G presumably, meaning a despicable person. There are a number of false etymologies based on backronyms, one of which is not available for fucking and
Okay.
normal as fuck. Yes, naff off, famously used throughout Porridge. Princess Anne allegedly told a reporter to naff off. Apparently, photographers who were present have since stated that this was a censored version of what she actually said.
Well, yeah, I can imagine she would use something a bit more harsh.
Comes up in Doctor Who, apparently, Polari. In Carnival of Monsters, which was a 1973 story, Vorg, a showman, attempts to converse with the Doctor and Polari.
Oh. How does that go?
I don't know.
Oh, Jesus, what's happened here? Oh, a load of pipes have fallen off her. Bye, lads.
Oh, ACDC means bisexual.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I can completely understand that. And indeed, depending on how whose view of the world you take it upon yourself, they are indeed going on a highway to hell.
God, there's a whole glossary here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Okay.
People look for alternate languages. Making sure the sound still works. This road's closed with the only car on it. Vehicle, I should say.
Right, let's test you a little bit. There's no way you'd get this.
Okay. We're on a tight deadline on this job, by the way, because we've only got 7 minutes. 7 minutes to dick about, so...
Well, I mean, we can do both.
No, we've not...
This whole thing is dicking about.
No, it's in... Where there's only 7 minutes of delays between when we have to get this goods to where they are and how much time we've got before we need to sleep. So
what does remold mean? Do you think that's
remold?
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone who has discovered that they are in fact gay.
Not quite. It refers to a sex change.
Okay, it's close enough.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of these will, rather a lot of these will make a great deal less sense. TBH. What do you think that means?
Is this a
Don't need to
backronym?
be honest. Yeah, I guess.
Tight butthole.
No.
Oh. I mean, to be fair.
No. It's to be had, i.e., a prospective sexual conquest.
Okay. I prefer mine, to be honest with you. Have you got a TBH?
No.
Oh, have you not?
No.
A wallop. Is this someone who is into rougher activities?
It's not all of these are sexual. It's like a Cockney rhyming slang type thing, and not that these are Cockney rhyming slang, though some of them are. A wallop is a dance.
Oh, okay. Where's the thinking on that one? Because a lot of these thinking, these ideas tend to they follow a Jordan style level of thinking a lot of the time. In where you go from one thing to another, and then you get the rhyme.
What's zushy?
Zushi.
Yeah. What if I said, "Oh, you're looking quite zushy"?
I would assume you meant fancy.
Yeah, showy. Yeah.
Because I'm always looking fancy, darling.
Okay, these are three. So, ogle. What does ogle mean?
Look at.
Yeah, look admiringly. So, what does ogles mean? What are your ogles?
Your eyes.
So ogle fakes are
Glasses.
glasses. Well done. We're learning. Mollying. What are you doing if you're mollying?
Pissing around.
No, that is a dirty one. It's involved in the act of sex.
Oh, it just means that you're having sex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough. It's not even anything interesting.
What are you farting, crackers?
Are they your?
I hope you've got them on.
Are they your underpants?
They're trousers.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not wearing trousers at the moment. But I'm wearing underpants, so you know.
What's dish? What's your dish? If I said you got an awfully big dish.
Is it your hands?
No, it's your buttocks.
Oh, okay. Oh, good God. I don't want to be dining out anytime soon with these people.
Cory Bungus.
Chungus.
It's your buttocks.
Yeah, your chungus.
Okay. Similar to ogles. What's Aunt Nell?
Your nose.
You know, I was Aunt. You need to Aunt Nell.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not listening. Or listening.
Okay.
Aunt Nell is this. Okay. So what's Aunt Nell's? What are your Aunt Nell's?
Your ears, one would assume.
Okay. What are your Aunt Nelly fakes?
Earmuffs.
No, they're earrings.
Okay. See, these things don't make sense. Who came up with this bullshit? Like, I would understand it if there wasn't already a language in place, right? I would get that. At an initial point, language is bollocks. But if you're using words that already exist...
Well, the thing is, if you know, in the days, you know, within living memory when it was illegal, you know, you had to slip it under the radar, and some of these do have origins from other places and origins that make sense. Bevy, for example,
A drink.
Comes from beverage. Yeah.
Yes, which makes sense. I can live with that. I get that.
Ava. It's from the Italian Chiavar.
I'm not familiar with it. My Italian's a bit rusty.
It means to have sex.
Okay, yeah, we wouldn't have covered that when I was doing Italian last. Yeah. Back in year 5.
So yeah. What does Alamo mean with an exclamation mark? If you see something, go Alamo.
If you see something, you say Alamo, or if something goes Alamo.
If you see someone and you say Alamo, what are you saying about them?
That they look like they are a last resort.
No. It's very basic. It just means that they're attractive.
What's attractive about the Alamo?
Well, it's via the acronym LMO, which means, what do you think? LMO.
Is that very attractive?
To LMO. What does that stand for?
Let me organise.
You're actually very close. Well, you've essentially got it. You've just gone a bit too fancy. If I said the first one was lick.
Lick my orifice.
No, lick me.
Ogles.
No. Out.
Lick me ogles! But not me fake ogles.
See, you're almost fluent.
I had to go a bit northern through though, didn't I?
Jubes, you're ogling jubes.
Breasts.
Yes.
Well, I sometimes use the word jubblies for breasts.
Caffies are trousers as well, so there's a bit of a crossover. So, how we give you a sentence?
Oh, go on then.
Oh.
Oh.
Hang on.
I don't know. He has these ideas, don't he, people? I've just realised this will be in our regular slot this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, because last week it was a bit late, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's alright.
Because of the technical issues.
This one's not too difficult. I'll see if I can read it properly. Omies and Polones of the jury Varder well at the eke of the poor ohm who stands before you, his lallies trembling.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Yep.
listen to the tale of this poor unfortunate who's scared.
Yeah, you're not far off. Omnis and Polonies of the jury, Varder well at the eke of the poor ohm who stands before you, his lallies trembling, means men and women of the jury, look well at the face of the poor man who stands before you, his legs trembling.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Okay. Next one.
Why would they be saying that in Polari?
I don't know, but it's got some.
It's cottaging from Polari.
Yes.
Yeah, I vaguely remember there being a
cottaging,
conversation about. I vaguely remember there being a conversation about Polari back in college, actually. Then there was a gay guy called Will. He laughed like Jimmy Carr.
Oh, I'm certain Jimmy Carr didn't always laugh like that.
Yeah, I've heard someone else.
It was noteworthy when he started. Yeah, that's an affectation. He started that, and at a certain point, you sort of taken that as far as you can go comedically, but you sort of trapped yourself, haven't you? You can't really drop it.
We've gained some time on the timer, so that's helpful.
Lovely. Okay, so your next one. So Bonner to Varda, OU.
So good to see you.
Hang on. Your lovely eek and your lovely rear.
Your lovely face and your lovely butt.
You're very close. It's so good to see OU. Your lovely face and your lovely hair.
Why would hair be rear?
Let's see if it gives us an explanation. Okay, so it doesn't.
It would literally be something you could be.
It's backslang. It's hair backwards. RIAH.
Oh, so here I was thinking it was REAR.
No, sorry, I probably didn't. Raya? Yeah, it's probably better. What's a Raya Zusha? We did touch on
fancy hair.
No, a Zusha. A Raya Zusha.
Oh,
he makes your hair fancy.
Well, a hairdresser.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Okay,
I can't.
So,
it's photo mode. Look what I found, Ben. Frankfurt Airport.
Oh, lovely. Are we meant to be delivering there?
Nope. I know some people that have been to Frankfurt. Frankfurt?
Lovely.
Oh, hang on. I've got that one. I can make. What's his name? Say it.
Oh, what? Alan. Who's that? That doesn't sound like Alan Johnson.
It's literally taken from Peep Show, and I know because I did it myself.
Okay.
It's Alan Johnson saying Frankfurt.
Okay. Right. This one's quite a long one.
Oh, okay. There's a storm. There's a storm going on, Ben. I saw some lightning.
As Feely Oms, we would Zoosh our Raya, powder our eeks, climb into our Bonner new drag, don our bats and troll off to some Bona bijou bar. In the bar we would stand around us with our sisters, Vader the Bona carts on the butch Ajax, who, if we fluttered our ogle rears at him sweetly, might just troll over to offer a light for the unlit vogue clenched between our teeth. Now I can make out most of that. I reckon you probably can too. So let's start with.
I'm gonna level with you. I do need it smaller because I lost track halfway through.
Yeah, that's alright. I'll cut it down. So first bit. As Feely Oms. Now we've had Oms before, sort of. Ommies and Polones of the jury. So Oms.
As men.
As Feely Oms.
As gentlemen.
Not quite. As young men.
Okay.
Feely means young. Okay. We would Zoosh our Raya.
We'll fancy up our hair.
We'd style our hair. Yeah. Powder our eeks.
Put earrings in.
Powder our faces. Climb into our Bonner new drag.
Get into a car.
Nope.
No, put on our new clothes.
Yes, climb into our great new clothes. Don our bats and troll off to some Bonner bijou bar.
Put our shoes on and go to a bar. A fancy bar. A nice bar.
Yeah, don our shoes and wander/walk off to some great little bar. In the bar, we would stand around with our sisters.
Partners, women.
Not quite. this is gay slang.
Well,
So in the
lesbians
bar,
then.
we would stand around with our gay companions. Varder the Bonner carts on the butch Ajax who well Varder the Bonner carts on the butch Ajax.
Check out the muscles on the big tough guys.
Sort of. The literal translation is look at the great genitals on the butch man nearby, who, if we fluttered our ogle ryers at him sweetly, they should be able to figure this out.
I'm going to assume that that's if they flutter their eyelids nicely.
Close. I remember ryers is hairs, isn't it? So ogle ryers.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, it's either eyebrows or eyelashes, really.
Eyelashes.
That's what I said. Flutter your eyelashes. I said flutter your eyelashes. I said eyelashes.
I'm sure you didn't. If we fluttered our eyelashes at him sweetly, might just troll over to offer a light for the unlit vogue clenched between.
Might light our cigarettes for us if we ask. Basically, it's the gist. They want a light.
Walk over to offer a light for the unlit cigarette clenched between our teeth. Okay. And your very last one. This is from an episode of Are You Being Served? Right. Captain Peacock asked Mr. Humphreys to get some strides for the Omi with the Naff Raya.
Get some cigarettes for the guy with the rubbish hair.
Some trousers. So many different words for trousers.
Yeah, well, you know. Is there any particular reason why you're
some trousers for the guy with the bad hair? Yeah.
Are you becoming invested in this by any chance? Because I should think this has probably died out quite a bit.
Oh yeah, it's definitely died out. I mean, I've always wanted to learn a new language, but
make it something practical if you're gonna do that. Yeah. Like semaphore. Yeah. It's more practical than Polari at this point.
Or ancient Assyrian. Yeah. Well, that you'd learn something new, haven't you?
Learn Infernal. At least then maybe you'd be able to help me on Baldur's Gate.
Was there a reason we started talking about this?
No, I can't remember. There'll be one, and I can't for the life of me remember what it is. But you started it.
Because it wasn't a topic.
You started it, whatever it is, and it'll be going into the. We spend far too long talking Polari at each other.
Yeah. I probably know more Polari now than I do modern slang.
Probably know more Polari than you do bloody English at this point.
Yeah.
You didn't hear me learning Nadsat, did you?
What?
I said you didn't hear me learning Nadsat.
What's Nadsat?
The language of the youths in A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah.
You didn't hear me learning whatever it is in 1984, did you?
Do you know where Nadsat comes from?
I did know, but I can't remember.
It's the Russian word. Well, it's from the Russian word meaning teen.
Which makes sense, seeing as there's a lot of Russian terminology, like babushka, as part of Nadsat.
Oh yeah, no, it came from the Pope slur thing.
Ah, yes, of course it did.
Yeah, we don't know where he picked that up.
Is this the Pope that used to be a bouncer in Brazil?
Hardly possible he picked it up there.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
I know I did see a comment which did suggest that there was some some logical explanation.
You know how we had 7 minutes spare on this job?
Yeah.
It's now 45 minutes.
Yeah, he was a bouncer and a janitor.
So, I mean, it makes sense that he would pick up some unsavoury language.
It's entirely possible he picked it up from there, yeah. Been Pope since 2013.
That long?
Yeah.
I remember when Benedict was voted in. Vaguely.
Well, we'll have a new one soon enough. He's 87.
It'll be in our lifetimes, that's for sure. Unless I murder you soon.
I have 9 topics.
I have 3. I actually think one of them is the same.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna use one of mine. Um,
Bloody hell! Just if you got a there, just pick one.
what?
Pick one.
Okay. Richard Sherman. Do you know who Richard Sherman is?
No.
Or was?
Which means he's
He was
dead.
one of the Sherman brothers.
Tanks.
No, the Sherman brothers wrote music for Disney films.
Oh, okay.
So famously, they did the score for Mary Poppins.
Did they really?
Yeah. Now Robert Sherman, I actually wrote an RIP post for him when he died in 2012.
Back when we were only 8 year olds.
Yeah.
Oh, we may have some big news soon.
What do you mean?
I've just seen a news alert come up.
Oh.
Anyway, do your thing and then we can have a look at the news alert.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see that. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was the Ukraine thing. Yes, Richard Sherman, who they did Diddy Bang Bang, famously Mary Poppins. Yeah. So fairly big people. They won 2 Academy Awards for Mary Poppins. They did Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which is great. Do you have a favourite Disney film score?
No.
I haven't seen enough to comment. Oh, okay.
I didn't grow up with Disney like so many people in our generation did. It wasn't a thing. I had the Disney books, but sadly, when you have the Disney books, you don't have the Disney music. So
I think you are so done with my shit.
No, it's true. Like literally, no. I did not grow up with Disney in the way that you probably did, and everyone else fucking did. You know, I read the books. I did not have the films. I did not have the music. I can't. I didn't. I have no emotional attachment to any of it. I didn't see The Lion King until I was 18. You know.
Okay. I've always been fond of the Jungle Book.
Oh, have you now?
There's some cracking songs in the Jungle Book. Have a look.
In the lads group of social friends that I'm friends with, we have joked previously about me being the king of the swingers, because I'm the one of us that has a more illustrious sexual life.
Trust in Me, which is good. Sung by the guy who played Winnie the Pooh. Bare Necessities is obviously great. I Want to Be Like You is great. Yeah. What a great score. What a great score.
It's not as good as 2-1.
Yeah. That's a very short... Do you want to talk about the main news?
Until we get the result, there's no point. But
well, I think we can speculate.
Well, I have got another short piece in the meantime, in case we...
Well, I just want to say, the fact it's taken them so little time to come up with something, I don't think is a good sign.
Well, they've been bribed, haven't they? Almost certainly.
I doubt it. I don't know. They probably... I don't know. Anyway, please continue.
I have a short piece about the fact that am I going the right way? Yeah. I actually won on the postcode lottery, Ben.
Oh really? How much?
It wasn't a financial amount. It was a item prize that I had a choice of various things from. They included oven gloves, a apron for cooking in the kitchen, a hand mixer with 5 different speeds, a speedboat. Because I was getting that sort of vibe from the thing, from the way I was saying it. So, I went with a box of Hotel Chocolat or Hotel chocolate because I figured treat myself, right? Well, it being my birthday tomorrow and me getting the thing today, I thought, fuck it, I'll get some chocolates. So that'll be with me in the next 2 weeks apparently.
Well,
but
lovely.
Yeah, I got. None of it was either that or the apron. But if I got the apron, it would be for purely inappropriate reasons. You know, so I could walk around with not much else on and just be put on show, just for comedy purposes. And there's not much call for that, because if I'm in that sort of situation, I'll just be naked anyway. Like yesterday, last night I spent so much time naked. Anyway, postcode lottery. I was hopeful it would be money because MOT. Even $1,000 would do me. Because that's what I'm out. That's what I'm out of pocket. So.
Well, yeah, these are nice.
It would have cancelled out, and I wouldn't have been so pissed with Gary. Are you wanting to move on to the big topic proper?
Well, I mean, they say it's about 20 minutes.
Okay. Well then, let's find some more crap to fill the gap.
Did you hear Doge died?
The dog?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Well, he died, or she died. They died. Lived a long life. Apparently, I think they were like 18. In 18 in like proper years. In dog years, that's like 140. It's not. I think it's like 80 something, which is really good.
18, you say?
Yeah.
Would be 126 in dog years.
Hang on.
Because it's 7, isn't it?
Yeah, well beyond the lifespan for the breed.
Well, I suppose when you're famous, you can afford the healthcare, can't you?
I mean, there's a currency named after this dog by losers on the internet.
Yeah, but like you wouldn't cash in on it if you could. I actually own some shares in. I say some. I think just shy of a share in Reddit because I invest a tenner a week into Reddit. Let's see what that's worth at the moment. For the last 3 weeks, I've been investing a tenner into Reddit, and it now is worth £29.77.
You were wrong about the dog year thing, by the way. I've just seen.
Okay, well, what's the ratio?
Hang on.
Because I believe
it's far more complicated than that. Size and breed plays a part. For the first 2 years of a small dog's life is roughly the same as 12.5 human years. That was 10.5 for a medium dog and 9 for a large dog. Each additional year of the dog's life is then multiplied by between 4.3 and 13.4 years, depending on the breed. There is a calculator.
Okay. Use the calculator. Because so far, all I'm seeing is that that's an average of 7. Ish.
Yeah, we're looking at like 18 odd. Oh, Britain's oldest dog is a Jack Russell called Meg, who reached grand old age in 25, which is approximately 113 in dog years.
Well, again, it would depend on the dog.
88, it looks like, according to this. Anyway, you were saying you bought Reddit.
I own. I've invested a total of £30 into Reddit over the last 3 weeks, and it is now worth £29.77.
Oh.
So that's investment, kids. That's how investing works. Is you sometimes lose a little bit of money, but it's only like 23 pence, right? I'm not that fussed about it.
Well, that's sort of the ideal investment. You want slow, steady, solid growth.
Yeah, and it was going up, but the trouble is it's fluctuating. That's what I do. I also have a safer investment option.
That's what made one of the reasons Bernie Madoff got so much money. is because he promised solid, reasonable enough sounding growth and consistently. He also did a really clever thing where you couldn't just sign up with him, he would have to choose you.
Ah, okay.
And if there's one thing really rich people like, is it's exclusivity. Because when you can get everything with like the ease, thing really interesting and titillating to you is being told you can't have something unless you jump through certain hoops. It's getting into the country club when others can't.
Mm. You're not wrong. Let's have a little shifties at how far we've been going. 40 minutes. Okay, well, we've got time for another job.
Yeah, we have.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have.
Some more death news.
Hang on. Do you want to go into Sweden or Poland? I'm thinking Sweden.
I'm thinking Sweden.
We go through Copenhagen, or just outside of past Copenhagen.
Do you remember the movie Super Size Me?
Yes, he died, didn't he?
Yeah, the 2004 documentary film directed by Morgan Spurlock. Have you seen it?
I have not. I know it was a rip-off of Science. Oh, it's a double trailer. We've got 2 trailers, Ben.
Oh my god. Good luck.
Do you know what else he directed?
You've minimised your application.
I haven't. I'm still in the bloody thing.
Well, according to this, I'm being asked to sit tight.
Okay, well, I'm still in the fucking thing. I've not...
Oh, okay, there you are, yeah. Yeah, what else did he direct?
I was amazed by these things. He directed, I believe, the One Direction concert documentary movie thing.
Oh.
And something about the hunt for Osama bin Laden, I think it was. If you just have a look at his page, about the things he directed, it'll confirm, but I'm pretty sure it was those 2 were the ones that I saw.
Where in the world is Osama bin Laden? It was his second feature film documentary.
And then something about One Direction. And I can't help but think there's a bit of a leap there, isn't there?
Directed the Simpsons 20th anniversary special in 3D on ice.
Okay.
Freakonomics directed. Directed something called Committed, the greatest movie ever sold. He worked with Joss Whedon, Harry Knowles, who was a film critic, and Stan Lee to create the documentary Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope. He did something called Mansum, which was a look at male identity.
Have you got to the One Direction thing yet?
Brony Tale, something he looked at. Consider the Source. He was a fan of Catfish. Now there's a documentary that got some life in it. That series is still going. It was 14 years after that movie. Presented 20-50 documentaries to see before you die. He was important for documentary filmmaking.
No wonder he was on your list and not on mine.
He admitted to in 2017. He admitted to what he described as a history of sexual misconduct.
Well,
this was in the midst of Me Too, and it was like he said, "I've come to understand after months of these revelations that I am not some innocent bystander. I am also part of the problem." In the post, he said that he had committed sexual misconduct in his past, including cheating on his past wives and girlfriends, as well as settling a sexual harassment allegation brought by an assistant at his production company. In the post, Spurlock had also said that he was accused of sexual assault while in college. Rape, apparently, it goes on to say.
Well.
Yeah, it sort of killed his career. Although, it seems like he did that deliberately and genuinely stepped aside and did some soul searching. And then in 2017 he released a sequel film, Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken.
Okay.
Which was dropped. No mention of that yet. He worked on Leon, Professional.
That's a good film.
What he produced something called What Would Jesus Buy?
There's some awkward theming in Leon the Professional, but it was Natalie Portman's first movie. It's got Luc Besson in it,
Do you know,
and Gary Oldman plays the villain.
do you know the guy who played Chancellor Valorum in Phantom Menace? I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but I know his face. Yes.
He said the only reason why he wanted to be in the Phantom Menace was because he was told that Natalie Portman was in it, and he said he had such a crush on her after watching Leon.
Oh, and that's awkward because
Yeah.
she's younger than.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she's young.
Yes, but he died of cancer, very sadly. As you say, there was some controversy because it was presented as essentially the deal was he ate he followed a 30-day period during which he claimed to consume only McDonald's food. So the film documented. Well, he went for like frequent medical tests, and doctors kept saying, "Oh my God, what are you doing to yourself?" And he was ill and throwing up, and psychologically he wasn't doing well. Then it turned out he was like constantly drunk, like suffering horribly from alcoholism. It's like, yeah, if you're drinking that much, it's gonna fuck up. It's not a case of, oh my God, look at what these chicken nuggets have done to my liver.
Because chicken nuggets notoriously provide alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
They're famous for it. Bloody frauds. Can't stand a good fraud. I prefer bad fraud.
Well, I don't think it was fraud, really. I think it was just he did eat it 30 days for 30 days. He was supersizing regularly.
To be passing it off
also...
as a McDonald's related issue.
No, I don't think he was. Well, I mean, he might have been a bit. I think it maybe.
The whole premise of a documentary. The whole premise of a documentary.
Yeah. I don't think it said it wasn't accurate. I don't know whether it was fraud per se. I don't think I'd go that far. It may have just been that he happened to be
at the end of
alcoholism at the time, and that was doing the brunt of the damage, and was the source of much of the physical and psychological change.
If the intent is for people to come out of watching that documentary as fuck McDonald's does damage to people's health, and they are basing it on his representation of the apparent damage that McDonald's does to your health, and he knowingly was drinking alcohol and had alcoholism, it would classify as fraud. Unless there is a statement somewhere within there that says, actually it wasn't McDonald's, it turns out it was alcohol. Otherwise, it's fraudulent. It's as simple as that. There's no.
Apparently, some people have come out and a number of people who tried it and actually lost weight.
No, it depends what you order.
John Cisner lost 60 pounds. What he exclusively
and all he ordered was a Big Mac meal
for 180 days.
Really? Oh wow. The trouble is, it costs quite a bit these days, doesn't it? And you're always disappointed when you get McDonald's.
Yeah, I am, although I do fancy one.
We're not doing this again. If I don't want to hear you bitching about McDonald's if you get another McDonald's, okay? It's as simple as that. You do it if you want, but don't bitch to me about it.
I think Burger King don't deliver. But yeah, he died.
You mentioned Star Wars there, and I have some political Star Wars news. It has been revealed which movies in the series are Rishi Sunak's favourite Star Wars films.
No, it hasn't.
It has. He revealed it himself in an interview.
This is a team of advisors have chosen these for him. He's never seen a Star Wars film.
Point is, it has been revealed what his alleged favourite Star Wars films are. Would you accept that statement as to?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to hazard a guess as to which two he specifically mentioned as being his favourite movies, and then one which a further one which he expressed a fondness for, what would you pick?
The Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
And I'm gonna guess one of the newer ones, one of the sequel trilogy, Rise of Skywalker.
No.
Okay, is it one of the sequel trilogy?
No.
Well, my thought was he was hedging his bets by going old, but I also like the new one. And you know what? One of the prequels ones, I'm quite fond of it. Um,
Understandable reasoning.
but-
You were almost right in that he said Rogue One, which is a
okay,
newer film in that it came out in 2016, I believe.
you like that one.
But it's actually good. I genuinely think it is the best one in the series. The thing that's so distinctive about those two films is
Okay.
that what's your well, go on? What are you going to say?
No, sorry. I mean, I haven't seen it. I can't comment.
I
But
keep saying you should watch it, but
I
it's
know I'm put off by Star Wars.
well then until you watch it, you can't fairly comment. But I think the fact that they managed to it wasn't a story that needed to be told, but it was represented well. The fact that they stayed true to they used previously unused footage from A New Hope, so they could reincorporate some of the old X-wing pilots, right? And the people that they got playing pilots, they made have the 70s facial hair, so it would fit in with the other pilots using the old footage. Right? They put genuine effort into all this sort of shit, and it shows. It shows whilst you're watching it. They put the effort in. There's some stunning visuals. It's an enjoyable. There's some nice set pieces. Bit of comedy in there. It's a nice fucking film. The thing that's so distinctive about those two films is that they are the ones where, in fact, the other film I would say that he had a fondness for was the second half of Revenge of the Sith. Yes. There is something quite distinctive about those three films, I would say, especially the second half of Revenge of the Sith.
They are quite bleak.
They are the ones where the bad guys, as it were, sort of have the upper hand at the end. At the end of Empire Strikes Back, Han's been captured, and the Empire have got the rebellion on their back foot. At the end of Rogue One, okay, fine, the Death Star plans have been given to Leia, but the main heroes of the story are all dead. Like literally everyone that was the main cast of the film are dead at that point because they've died getting the plans. You know, they are Manny Bothans, as it were.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi have been all but eradicated. The only real hope that there is for the galaxy is two babies that don't know shit.
Well, yeah, and famously a load of kids get murdered and Anakin gets burned up, and
Yeah. So they are as you described it, three of the I would say four bleakest points in the entire series.
Yeah.
I would say the end of Attack of the Clones is quite a bleak point, but only because of what it alludes to.
Yes.
And arguably the end of the second sequel film is quite bleak in that it's much like Empire Strikes Back in its ending, but not in its content.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it?
That's the hook for the third one, isn't it?
Well, that's the storytelling cycle. Your first Act 1, your introduction to your characters and the setting and whatnot. Act 2 is the drama and the tension and things go bad, and Act 3 is the resolution. If you're doing a trilogy, you follow that.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, it's
weird choices for a PR perspective.
Well,
I would have said A New Hope. Let's say one of the sequel trilogy, maybe the middle one of the prequel or the sequel trilogy. And it's, you know what, honestly, I'm kind of I wouldn't say the Phantom Menace because that's got connotations, doesn't it? Let's be honest, in the wider cultural community. You'd say, you know what, I am quite fond of Attack of the Clones. Play it safe.
What you need to consider, and it's very important, is that Empire Strikes Back is widely regarded as the best Star Wars film.
True.
Second, Rogue One, for those people who do not believe that it's Empire Strikes Back, is almost certainly the movie that they consider to be the best Star Wars film.
But
and the second half of Revenge of the Sith is where all the memes come from.
But
with the exception of this is where the fun begins.
But you've got to remember that then this is not aimed at Star Wars fans. This is aimed at the wider public. What is the
Okay.
wider public's understanding of Star Wars? You just say, oh, well, I love the New Hope. It's like, okay, the first one, the original, when it was good. One of the sequel ones, so people who know a bit about it, like, oh yeah, he likes the newer ones too. He's still up to date. That shows he's a genuine fan.
You see,
And then you throw in the prequel one as, you know what, I've got a soft spot for this one or two.
I would test him. I would absolutely test him by forcing or encouraging him to do the to respond to something from the films. So, for example,
We have a verdict.
we do have a verdict. I've brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire and see how he reacts.
We have a verdict.
We do. I was finishing the fucking sentence.
All right.
Jesus Christ, Ben, have some fucking decorum. That wouldn't be your name, would it? Chancellor Decorum. You need to provide context. You need to provide context, Ben, because you've not gone into context. What? He's been third. Say what? Do it properly.
Well, if I can finish a fucking sentence, I might.
Oh, can you not finish the sentence now without me putting in? Funny that, isn't it? What goes around comes around. There's not a person watching this who doesn't agree with me here.
Let me finish a fucking sentence without being interrupted. Jesus.
No, I'm not Jesus. I'm Jordan.
Pardon me. No, this is genuinely getting annoying.
Alright, well, get on with it.
It's on the BBC website that we've gotten some verdicts back for the Donald Trump trial. And he's been found guilty as of right now. He's guilty on all 34 counts.
All 34. Well,
he is the first former president to be convicted of a crime. Jesus.
So,
Holy
what
shit.
does this really mean for America?
I mean, historically, it's significant. In terms of punishment, who knows? He may go to prison. I say may in the strongest possible quote marks, but I did see reports that his Secret Service are going to need protection in prison.
Yes, that would be true.
That makes sense, doesn't it? Because they're going to be, targets. If you're a prisoner looking to make a name for yourself, taking out a Secret Service guard is
Or
quite the feather in your cap.
Or former president.
Yeah, true that. But I mean, the Secret Service will probably be fine. I mean, if Trump gets assassinated in prison,
Well, he can't be president then, can he?
well, no, but it's gonna lead to theories, man.
If there's anything I've learned from... Oh, no, he'd have done it himself. Just like
What do you
Epstein.
mean?
He'd have killed himself, just like Epstein did.
Do you actually believe that? Because I do.
No, I was being sarcastic about
Facetious.
it.
Oh,
I don't actually think he did it.
You don't actually think Epstein killed himself?
No, of course I don't. The circumstances are ridiculous.
No, I think he did.
Okay. I am prepared to admit that it is possible that he actually did kill himself, but I believe that if he did kill himself, he was deliberately put in a position where he could do so,
Well, yeah,
which is tantamount to murder, as far as I'm concerned. If I'm aware that you are in a prison cell and you are going to probably go down for quite some serious time, and there are people who, if you testify against them, are going to want to hurt you badly, and I give you a fucking rope to hang yourself with, I'm as guilty as you are of your murder, as your death.
I agree. And that's what I think happened. That they basically were fine with him killing himself because he was, a terrible human being, and they don't like sex criminals in prison or in the prison service. So they basically just, what will be will be.
Natural selection.
Yes.
In fact, he naturally selected to kill himself. But I believe, I don't necessarily believe that he did it, but I would be prepared to believe that he was allowed to do it. Yeah. I don't honestly think this is going to make much difference.
No, I don't think historically it's significant.
Despite the separation of state and court, which is sort of meant to happen, isn't it? The government's not meant to really interfere with what's going on with the court. I believe that this is going to be used as a sort of propaganda style. Or even the government's out to get me. Look how out to get me they are. They've even made the courts find me guilty, even though it's not the courts, it's a jury of, well, not peers, because there's no one quite as low as he is, but you know.
I think there'll be well, both sides will use it, won't they? Like everything with Trump,
Yeah.
it doesn't really change anything in terms of the discussion. We all knew he was, crooked. Just because he's been found guilty of it, it doesn't change anything. For a lot of people, those people on his side are just going to take this as a proof that the government is out to get Trump. That there's a liberal plot to get him. It may. Will it change anything election-wise? I don't know. I don't
either. We may not find out for some time. November the election, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll find out in November
see.
how it just.
Big
Well,
year
actually,
for elections.
we'll find out for sure when when he's either chosen or not chosen to be the Republican candidate. I suspect he will be chosen because he's too popular still, despite everything. Beyond all reasonable reason to be popular. How is he popular and we're not? I tell you what it is, because we don't appeal to the lowest common denominator.
No, maybe we should. Well, I don't.
Do I have to start being a bigot? Do I have to start throwing out slurs and threatening to build walls and?
Maybe we should, next time we do a Doctor Who review, maybe we should put woke ? And our shocked faces in the thumbnail. Would that do it? I think.
No, I don't think it will.
Well, yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
There's not a lot more to say, is it, at the moment? Because there's not a lot more.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it more as we get it. Even though, if you're watching this, it's what?
It'll be Tuesday, so 5.
Yeah, but Tuesday,
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 5.
5 days after the fact. You definitely already know this. You've probably seen the riots by now.
We do urge you to stay inside as best you can. Don't get people to bring stuff to you rather than going to them, because they are already putting their life on the line, and there's no need to put yours on the line as well. Don't forget your Second Amendment rights, but please do not abuse them.
Yeah.
You got anything to add to that?
No.
The only way to survive this is to destroy the brain. Remove the head or destroy the brain. I repeat, remove the head or destroy the brain. If you can find it on a Trump supporter.
Well, yeah, that's happened. There will. I don't know when the sentencing will happen. Probably be a couple of days yet, I should think.
Well, God knows.
Yeah, they've apparently moved for acquittal, but gosh, that's quite something, isn't it? Really. What a bleak day for the office of president. But I'm glad he's. At least we've got it on the record that he's convicted. Really, Nixon probably should have been convicted, but Ford didn't want to drag that out.
Oh, whoops, crashed. That's what I get for scrolling through the news.
You keep crashing. I haven't been paying attention to this. I was looking at the news. Where are we? Still in Sweden?
Yeah, we've been in Sweden for quite a long time now.
What are we transporting?
Don't know. We're about to come to Jönköping, and then we'll be going near Linköping, and then Örebro, Västerås, and that's where we're headed. We do need to find a place to stop at some point.
Like a lay-by or a B&B.
Yeah. We'll go there. A camp B&B run by 2 British fellows that despise one another.
I saw 2 elderly homosexuals today.
What, you were watching Vicious again, were you?
No, I was in Cambridge, and and one was I think in his 70s or even his 80s, and one was in his I want to say 50s or 60s.
Hmm.
And yeah, so good for them. Good for them. Um, we're running out of ghosts.
Are we really?
Yeah, apparently. This was in the Daily Express Mirror question mark. Um, yeah, some guy who's a paranormal expert and also has a doctorate in nuclear physics, which is interesting. Claims that ghost reports are down.
Oh, well, do you know why that is?
Millennials.
It's because everyone is too far engrossed in their mobile phones to notice all the spooky shit going on.
Yeah.
Or more
Yeah.
likely, we have maintained a better grip of our sanity somehow, and thus are not imagining things that are going on.
Well, he contacted people at like big ghost haunting hotspots, um, and asked for sightings, and they were all down, like famous ghosts. He says it might be because they've moved on, but apparently there is hope, because they can. Well, he has hypothesized that they can recharge, so they might disappear for a bit and then pop back. So
Oh, these people are
yeah,
so full of shit, aren't they?
yeah. I learned a long while ago that the origin of ghosts, in I think like ancient Assyria or something, originally they were considered household pets.
Were they really?
Like you wouldn't be scared if you had a ghost. You'd be like, oh for fuck's sake, the house is haunted. We better get someone in.
Who are you going to
Sort this.
call?
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly that. It was, yeah. We'll get someone in to get rid of it. Some sort of pest. It was a pest control situation, and I like that idea. It's nothing but a minor inconvenience. Um,
Well,
yeah. Are you okay?
yeah, I'm good.
Good. Good. I don't like it when we fight.
Oh, I don't know what we fought over.
Okay.
What did we fight over?
Our best friends now.
I don't know. What did we fight over?
Well, it got a little heated, didn't it? About
Oh,
you
when you interrupted me first, and then I did it back to you afterwards,
Well,
and then you got all pissy about it.
yeah. I don't like it when that happens.
Well, I mean, you know, you did get what you get.
Okay.
I didn't do anything you hadn't already just done. You
Well,
know.
all right. Okay.
Okay.
There's no way to tell what's inside this thing, is there?
Well, I think there is. I don't care. Liver
Maybe it's
paste.
babies.
27 tons of liver paste.
Yeah.
That's what it says, literally, right there, bottom right. Cargo.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, everything gets shipped, doesn't it? You're bound to get a lot of boring stuff.
Yeah. You should see the shit that we have on our traders at work.
I bet cabbages and
Empty trays sometimes.
empty trays sometimes. Yeah.
You know, if the trays need washing and delivering to a tray wash location. It's a dull life thinking about what goes on inside lorries.
Yeah.
But at least we got the sound still.
Yep. I can hear you honking.
Yep.
Honking away.
Honk, honk. Just like King Zog.
Mm.
I very briefly considered a job change this week.
I mean,
as I often do, but there's a specific job change I
I don't
considered.
want to be funny, but it's you say briefly, but I mean, it seems like that's been humming away in the background for a while.
I saw a specific job that I considered applying for.
What was it?
Well, I don't actually know what the job title would have been, but the Lidl just around the corner from me are advertising for hiring, and I thought maybe I could do that. Maybe I could just take a nice, simple, not to disparage supermarket workers, but I feel that there's probably a lot less thinking involved, and it's very much a job that you can leave when you leave. You don't have to think about it when you've left the place.
I mean, speaking as somebody who's done that, I did the date check, which was essentially just running through the island and, believe it or not, checking dates and getting rid of stuff that was out of stock.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, but there's also a lot of till stuff involved that you might get involved in. If it was just stacking shelves,
Would you or would you not say, from your time having worked in such a retail environment, that when you have clocked out for the day, you don't need to think about it? There's no pressure to think about it between then and getting back into the work environment.
I mean, that's true.
Which is something that would be very nice, I feel, because I spend an awful lot of my time thinking about work stuff. In fact, just the other day, just last week, when we were having our nightmare situation, you remember I told you that last week was a bit of a nightmare?
Yeah.
I genuinely woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and realised that we didn't need to pay someone a manual wage advance because we had correctly paid them the first time round.
Fucked that up, didn't you?
Well, the payroll, yes, it was a fucking nightmare last
driving
week.
into the side rail.
Oh, it was a tactical manoeuvre.
So good you used it almost twice. Look at that, you're all over the fucking shop.
Have you tried turning a fucking trailer like with two fucking trailers, Ben? You try driving it, you'd be screwed. You'd have killed someone by now.
Well, I can't. Well, you see, I think that's on you taking your work home with you.
The trouble is, there's a lot of planning involved in my work and there's a lot of problem solving. Yeah, sometimes you need to think about a problem outside of looking at the problem to be able to solve the problem. You know.
See, I think about work when I'm at home. But not necessarily in a bad. I mean, there are times when I'm like, oh, fuck, I really fucked up, and it's never that bad. So I get it.
Do you know what the biggest obstacle for me actually applying for this job is right now? Because I genuinely I thought maybe I should apply for this job. There's one specific apparently it wouldn't be that big a pay cut, but I didn't look into that. And I don't need as much money as I'm getting. It's nice to have, but I don't need it. I've got leftover. So, no, the very specific reason is that I doubt there would be quite as much flexibility with regards to childcare.
No, they don't give a shit about you.
Which means that realistically, it's something that I should probably not really think about properly until my son is capable of getting himself to and from school and looking after himself at home by himself properly. So secondary school, I reckon. At that point, I can probably think about it.
And I think you have to remember that people do treat retail workers like shit.
Yes, that is also a possibility. That would be a problem. But
I do just want to say, oh no, you know what? Carry on, finish.
That is something that has also crossed my mind as being a problem. But you know, sometimes I feel like it's what's the word? It's not something I want. I don't want people to be shit to me. But I feel like I'm sure there's someone famous and intelligent who said something along the lines of everyone should work retail at least once in my life. And I've never worked retail. And
yeah, I said that.
Was it you? Was it?
Well, I mean, I didn't originate it, but I saw a Reddit post that something that quoted it. Working in retail is your penance for being a customer.
Yeah, something like that.
I think everybody should do it.
And you know, and maybe I should, you know, do retail at some point.
Yeah, sure.
Well, we're talking about something that even if I do end up doing it, it'll be a few years from now anyway, right? So I'm probably not actually going to end up doing it. But I thought about it, and that's the whole premise of this topic of conversation, is that I thought quite seriously for a short period of time about applying for a job at Lidl.
I would honestly say that I think you should probably consider the fact that this is you genuinely saying you do not want to work in your job anymore. And I don't think you do. Because you've spoken. This is not the first time this has come up.
No, and it won't be the last time either.
And you know, I'm not being funny, but you complain about it a lot, and we can use whatever word we'd like instead of complain. You know, but
yeah,
it pisses you off a lot, and you have a lot of gripes. And I think, you know, you got two options. You can
nut up or shut up.
You know, Sorry?
Nut up or shut up.
Yeah, piss or get off the pot. You can deal with it, well done. Or you can, find something different. Look for something different. Those are options, and, it's up to you which one you choose. No, neither one's right or wrong.
Well,
Really.
trouble is, I'm like, you're right. I do at times seriously hate the fact that I've got the job that I've got, right? Just because it's a stressful fucking job. It shouldn't be as stressful as it is, but people are helping make it stressful.
Mm.
I don't really resonate with many of the people there anymore. I used to get on really well with a lot of people, but I don't talk to about 2/3 of the office anymore because I don't need to, and they don't interest me enough to want to talk to them. There are some people who I find myself trapped in the kitchen with, and it is so hard not to say, "God, you're so fucking dull," to them, And I don't know if that's just because maybe I'm in a funk at the time, or maybe they're literally that fucking dull, you know.
Mm.
But I don't resonate with a lot of the people anymore, and there's not much. The job's changed so dramatically since I started. Even since I started in the job role that I'm in now, back in 2018, the job has changed so dramatically. The landscape of the business has changed. The expectations are dramatically different. The pressures are changed. It's just it's not what I signed up for back then. And I suppose that's natural, isn't it? Things change over the course of what is currently 6 years, or coming up to 6 years, because it was August time. But I think sometimes I seriously think it is time for me to move on. But the trouble is, moving on is a bit of a job, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
I get that.
And I'm very conscious of the fact that it's, for lack of a better way of putting it, it is easier for you to move on to a new job because you have less commitments to stick to. So, you haven't got a kid that you need to worry about.
I haven't got what?
You haven't got a kid you need to worry about as provide for.
Oh my god, I can't imagine anything worse. Jesus.
Whereas if I make a change to a new job and it all goes fucking pear-shaped, and then I'm jobless and then potentially homeless, and I've got a kid with me, and
no shoes for you, kiddo.
It's harder, isn't it? There's more things to consider before I make such a dramatic lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
Whereas, short of the fact that you are in the process of looking to buy a house and move into your own place, short of that, as far as I'm aware, there's no real commitments that stop you from deciding to quit work, bum around the country hitchhiking and playing the flute badly.
Yes.
Right.
Short of that massive responsibility.
No, but you could pull out of that if you wanted to and do it, right? Before that, what was stopping you?
Yeah, but when I'm in the house, I can't do that.
No, but you're not grasping what I'm saying, then.
All right, for the next month and a bit.
Okay, but that is the one thing, and you're not quite there yet. Is what I'm getting at. This is your one commitment that you're not quite at yet. That would tie you to a particular to making a.
Okay.
I don't think that's an unfair statement for me to make.
Well, I mean, no, but I think once I do have my house, it's that ties me in a lot more. But I see your point. See your point.
And I would say that a kid's a bigger commitment than a house, because you could always sell the house. I can't sell a child.
You absolutely can.
You bloody well can't.
It is worth noting. I mean, you absolutely can. You shouldn't. I think probably debatable.
No, it's not debatable. You shouldn't. You shouldn't do it. Anyone that would buy a child is not someone you want to sell a child to, unless it's Madonna. Unless it's Madonna.
I don't know. I think I don't. Yeah, we'll agree to disagree on that one. But I think he does have another parent.
Yeah, well, we've talked about her before, haven't we?
Ship him off to the other side of the country.
Sometimes I wonder if he'd have been better off going there, but then I realise what a fucking stupid idea that would have been.
No. Has she mentioned that again? That potential?
No, not recently. And I think she realised just how opposed to it I am. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I think maybe you should. Well, I wouldn't rule out getting a new job. I appreciate your concerns and where you're coming from. I think they're all very valid. You know, but as probably I imagine one of your two go-to people when it comes to work bullshit. You know, there's a lot. You know, well, worth considering.
I know, and I do consider.
And I do appreciate that you've been there so long that it's a bit daunting, perhaps, moving to another job and having to learn new things and be the new guy again.
I've had this job for this year will be 12 years, Ben. We're past the 11 and a half years point, I think.
That's a long old while.
No, it'll be 11 and a half years next week. So, it's a long bloody time that I'll have been there. Monday, it'll be Monday. I'll have been there 11 and a half years. So Monday just gone for you, viewer. Yesterday, viewer. 11 and a half
I found
years.
a typo in the BBC coverage.
I'm not surprised. Is it the live feed?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Lazy bastard.
I see them in the live feed quite a lot, so. Sentencing's for the 11th of July, apparently. Week after our election. That's a Thursday as well. So that's another thing that we can present live response to, and then post it 5 days later.
Taskmaster.
Oh, are you watching?
Well, I'm given to believe season 17 is finished. Presumably, I'll have to go back and watch what I missed because I haven't really kept up with it.
It is the final episode tonight, I believe.
Well, that makes sense because the series 18 lineup has been revealed.
Okay, who have they got?
Andy Zaltzman.
Don't know.
Worth noting, there's I mean, you're very much aware of this, but there's always a good mix between known comedians and unknown comedians. It's good in that regard. They strike the right balance, which I think is helped by the fact that a lot of the really big guns just can't do it because of scheduling commitments. But Andy Zaltzman, who apparently did a podcast with John Oliver.
Okay.
Babatunde Alice.
I know the name Babatunde, but that's it. I don't.
Emma Siddy.
No.
Two big guns. Jack D.
Yep, familiar. I thought he'd already done it. I thought Jack D already. Hang on. Okay.
What?
Doesn't matter. Carry on.
I like Rosie Jones. I think she's a sweetheart.
Look, she's lovely, and I understand that my issue with seeing her is my issue, right? I get that, but it means I am now less enthused about the upcoming season than I would have otherwise been.
I think it's worth noting, though, and we've had this discussion before.
We have.
That when she pops up on panel shows, it's a bit difficult. It's not her fault, bless her, but it sort of breaks up the rhythm of it. But I was thinking this, and I didn't make the point at the time, but it occurred to me earlier, or after the fact, that it's not that she's the only comedian who's, for want of a better word, style doesn't fit the panel show format. I don't think Stuart Lee would be particularly good at a panel show.
No, he's.
I think she might fit Taskmaster pretty well because she's sort of left to her own devices for a lot of it.
Well, yeah, that is true. The course of the actual tasks themselves, she would be probably fine.
Yeah.
It's the in the studio section where time is potentially of the essence.
Timing as well, yeah.
And
there's a certain way of delivering a joke, and you can break up somebody else's rhythm. In that sense, again, it's not her fault, and everything I've seen says that she's, adorable and fun and a very likable person. And I'm sure that, her content may well be funny. I haven't seen a lot of it. It's just finding the right, setting.
Format.
And I don't think format. I don't think it really works for panel shows. I remember QI had a ventriloquist on once.
Yeah, Nina something or other.
Nina Conti, and
that didn't work really.
That didn't really work. It is just a format thing. And of course, people are going to be vile to it, which is It's never
Absolutely.
nice.
I like to think that despite my dislike, it's not disrespectful.
No, I mean, clearly she's got a following. I'm sure, I'm sure she's funny. It just, I can't say I don't agree with sentiments that it sounds horrible because it isn't her fault, but that when she's on a panel show and you've got a good bit of back and forth, and then it sort of grinds to a halt, and you've got to wait a bit. And no reason to. I think she is funny. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get into that position of being a known comedian unless you are,
Yeah.
in fact, funny. I would like to draw your attention to the fact that we are. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. We have finished the job that we were on,
Okay.
which means that we are in a good position to stop recording this video.
Well, fair dues. Let's stop recording this video. What would you like to say?
Basically, everyone, thank you for joining us. If you did, which you didn't, but thanks anyway. As always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and we will definitely check the comments. Although that said, I was going to check for whether anything else had come in this week, and I'd forgotten to do so. So I'll do that whilst we're watching your video, Ben, if you don't have any objections. But yeah, otherwise, everyone, thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Bye.